Well, I'm really sorry that I've been away for the past few days and there's been no uploads. Cut it short, I had a good night out. Well, it wasn't a good night out. I woke up in an ambulance and ended up in hospital, and I've been recovering the last few days and I'm fine. But I thought I'd get back on it with another Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord developer blog. So welcome guys back. This is some new news. I mean, there's not really all that much there, but we do know that Gamescom is coming up very soon and I actually can't wait. E3 is on the 11th of June, somewhere around the 11th, and I think hopefully we should get some new stuff from Mount & Blade there. I'm not actually attending E3, but around that same time, and August of course is the date to really keep out for, because Gamescom is where Bannerlord's going to be going. And if you haven't watched my other videos, I did explain that if you want to go there, you can actually play the multiplayer for Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord. This is not just for press. I mean, I think press can play a little bit of the single player as well, but just anyone that wants to go to Gamescom in Cologne can go and play the multiplayer for Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord, which I'm very excited about. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to go because the hotel prices in Cologne are through the roof. But I hopefully will get some footage. Hopefully something will be released, so make sure you subscribe to the channel for all the content as soon as it comes out. But in this week's, we're talking more about the single player. We've had a few on the multiplayer, we had captain mode and all that good stuff, but this time we're actually talking about how they made the single player and how it sort of affects the world through the coding. It's not that all interesting, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. But we do know, which was very briefly mentioned and not really explained into, about raiding in the single player map. In Warband, you could go to different villages and you could choose hostile action, whether this was killing their cattle, etc., or looting and burning. This was a great way of getting early money, but it wasn't great for keeping your relations up with enemy lords. But if you're at war with them anyway, what does it matter? And this is coming back in Bannerlord, but in a lot more depth. This way you can go around the map and you can choose to raid villages, or you can send out your men to do it for you. Yes, you can make your men go and forage for food and things, but also make them go and buy stuff from nearby villages, which they will do anyway. But you can also choose to raid them. Here they'll be able to get resources, food and things, which, as I mentioned in a couple of dev blogs ago, is very important for the single player, so you keep up your resources, otherwise you can head back to your own place because your men will start deserting. But this developer blog looks a little bit into how it actually affects the rest of the world. We do know that the AIs do the same things as you. The economy works in the same way. You can disrupt their trade lines, and it means that they're not going to be able to go on long campaigns. They're not going to be able to do long sieges because they won't have the resources, but you still will. And it works the other way. If they disrupt your trade lines, the same thing can happen. But it's not just happening with trade lines. If you're raiding villages, you will also affect their economy in bad ways. Villagers won't be as happy with their lords. Villagers won't have the resources, the food to keep themselves going, and won't be able to give their lords food and resources in order to go on campaigns and missions, meaning that raiding the towns that you go past and in the regions, you'll be able to actually have a negative effect on the enemy's economy. The developer blog talks a little bit about coding, how the AI works in terms of your penalty for parties transporting cargo and the speed on the map. We do know from past developer blogs that the more cargo you have, the slower you're going to be on the map. This does not just include troops, but this also includes the amount of mountain troops you have. So for example, if you have way more cavalry, you're going to be faster than people that don't. But it also includes things like food, linen, luxuries, valuables, things like that, but also can be included with cattle that have to stay in your party in order to keep yourself fed with fresh food. But things like donkeys and mules can be taken in order to carry stuff, making the party a lot faster. Now it also goes into a lot more of the AI, which I'm finding this really interesting actually. Looking into how the AI can actually purchase these sort of things. For example, an AI caravan can have the ability to purchase additional pack animals in order to have in their caravan group, making them move a lot faster on the map because they can carry more and they have a lot more legs in order to do it. And this also extends to troops as well. For example, if there's an AI lord army that has a lot of guys, if they have maybe 200-300 men, that's going to need a lot of resources, so they're going to be carrying a lot of food and luxuries and valuable items. If you attack them, they might still survive and get away, but this means they have a lot less men depending on how hard you attack them and how many you kill, but they still have all these resources. Now of course there's the abilities that you can steal them from them, but this also means that these guys and this additional army will have all these resources, but they don't have the men or the mules, etc., to carry it on. So this means they're going to be so much slower on the map, or they're just going to have to to ditch some of the cargo or prisoners or even their wounded men, which is, yes, something that you're going to have to be thinking about in Bannerlord. If you have men that are wounded, they can be healed up when needs be, but they're going to be slowing down your party because, of course, many of them won't be able to walk. So the more men and things you have, they can help carry them. If you don't have enough men or mules, etc., in order to compensate for these wounded guys, you might have to make that decision to ditch them, and eventually they will die, which I expect is going to have negative effects on your party's morale, etc. But that's pretty much it for this week's developer blog. There were a few interesting things and additional things there, but as I said, we're sort of all just building up and waiting for Gamescom at this point, let's not lie. But thanks so much for watching. If you want more Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord news, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But until then, guys, I will see you in the next one.